Good evening. Thanks for being here. A whale that killed a trainer in Oak Bay nearly 20 years ago has killed again. A trainer at SeaWorld in Orlando, Florida, died today when the killer whale jumped out of the pool, grabbed her by the waist, and shook her violently. It is the same whale, Tilikum, that killed trainer Kelty Byrne in 1991 of the former Sealand of the Pacific in Oak Bay. The death today is the third involving this whale, and a former trainer questions why it was still performing at all when park officials knew the whale could injure or kill again.
Crime tape and investigators surround the pools at SeaWorld in Orlando, a place normally reserved for hundreds of spectators to watch performing sea animals. But the marine park is now the scene of a death investigation, eerily similar to a killer whale death at a former Oak Bay Marine Park nearly 20 years ago.
It's with great sadness that I report that one of our most experienced animal trainers drowned in an incident with one of our killer whales this afternoon. We've initiated an investigation to determine to the extent possible what occurred.
Witnesses say the killer whale named Tilikum leapt out of the water and grabbed a trainer by the waist, shaking her so violently her shoe fell off. Spectators who didn't see the incident say they knew something was wrong when park officials stopped the show.
They stopped the show for a while, and then some of the trainers went to the back and
said that the animals weren't, sometimes if they don't cooperate or...
Yeah, sometimes the animals don't cooperate.
Within minutes, SeaWorld officials cleared visitors from the performance area and closed the park. Investigators tell a different story of what happened.
Female trainer back in the whale holding area. She apparently slipped or fell into the tank and was fatally injured by one of the whales.
In 1991, Tilikum performed at Sealand in Oak Bay when he dragged trainer Kelty Byrne under the water and drowned her. Shortly after, the whale was sold to SeaWorld in Florida. Steve Huckster was the head trainer at the Oak Bay Marine Park. He says Tilikum was never meant to perform again.
Because of that incident, it's a very exciting, very stimulating thing for any animal. And there's always the odd chance, although very low, that it might repeat itself. So my understanding was that SeaWorld decided that Tilikum, Haida, and Nootka were not to be performing animals.
This is the third death linked to Tilikum. In 1999, a man was found naked in the killer whale's pool in Orlando. Officials believe the man snuck into the pool after the park had closed. At SeaWorld tonight, the park has separated Tilikum from trainers and other whales as the investigation continues. In Victoria, Stephen Andrew, A News.
Joining us now live from outside Shamu Stadium at SeaWorld in Orlando, Florida, with the latest on the story is WESH television reporter Craig Lucy. Craig, thanks for being here. We've learned more tonight about the trainer who was killed in Orlando today. She was experienced.
Very experienced. We're told that she had more than 16 years of experience working with these killer whales. She's been identified as 40-year-old Dawn Brancheau. We're told that she was one of their most skilled trainers here at SeaWorld, working with these whales and them for a very long time. What we're told is Dawn was in the back area, a whale holding area, when she was apparently grabbed by Tilikum, thrashed around, and then dragged underwater, and authorities telling us that she drowned. Witnesses say that there were children in the area when this happened. There were parents, and that these children were escorted out of the area, but it did not happen. It was just back behind the whale holding area, and there was some sort of VIP tour that may have been going on, and perhaps parents and children witnessed this trainer be underwater and ultimately drowning. Hudson?
A horrific experience for them. Now, this has renewed the debate, Craig, here, and I'm sure there as well, over whether whales should be kept in captivity. What's being said about that tonight in Orlando?
We don't know what the next step is for Tilikum. Right now, they've shut down Shamu Stadium. We're told by witnesses there was earlier. Do you have me?
I think we do, Craig. We're losing it, but we appreciate you joining us tonight. Thanks very much. As you can see from the weather, where Craig is in Orlando tonight, a major storm system moving through, having an impact on our ability to bring that to you live. Our thanks to Craig Lucy from WESH. Whether a killer whale is in captivity or in the wild, there is no doubt that these are indeed wild animals, and in the wild, orcas have to be killers to survive. The owner of a diving resort in Barkley Sound has had a close encounter with killer whales, one that he caught on tape, and it is now being seen around the world. It is amazing video that shows the power and brutality of nature. A&E's Mid-Island Bureau Chief Jonathan Bartlett has the story.
The video, posted on YouTube and with dramatic music added for effect, shows a very close encounter with a transient orca. Some would say almost too close.
A whale encounter this close is something that doesn't happen every day. It's really a privilege. It's something very special.
Peter Miras and his wife Kathy Johnson were just returning to their dive lodge in Barkley Sound after a day of photographing eagles when they spotted an orca that seemed very interested in their boat.
We were sort of like, what's going on? Maybe another Luna? No, we didn't want that because we all know how that ended.
They soon realized it wasn't just one whale, but two, and it became evident the whale wasn't interested in them, but something hiding under their boat.
A second whale popped up on the other side of our skiff, and not far from us, a harbor seal surfaced. So at that point, we realized what was going on.
The seal was about to become lunch. It was 2 against 1, and the harbor seal couldn't hide forever. The graphic end of this story wasn't captured on tape.
A lot of commotion on the water, and well, that's where we figured that they potentially eventually ate the seal.
The seal's demise might be upsetting for some, but this is nature at its best, or worse, depending on whose side you're on. The average transient orca eats 1 seal a day as part of its diet.
We do not take sides because seals eat fish, killer whales eat seals. That's the way nature works. We really didn't want to get involved as far as interfering with the situation. That's why we extracted ourselves.
The whales' and seals' behavior is rarely caught on tape, but it's not that uncommon. It was a friend's idea to post the version of the video on YouTube. Now the world can see the beauty and sometimes brutal reality of natural Vancouver Island.
Within a couple of days, we had like 1,200 views, which is not a lot. It's not by no means viral, but for such a small niche kind of footage, it's quite nice.
In Nanaimo, Jonathan Bartlett, A News.